it's me again. I'm uploading for a second time today. I go for weeks without uploading and then I upload twice in a day. Who would have guessed it? So, it has come to my attention that it is results day tomorrow, so as you're watching this, tomorrow is Thursday and tomorrow is results day, which somehow means it's been a year since my results day, and I don't quite know how. And I knew that I really wanted to film a kind of university Q&A all about kind of how I found it and what questions you specifically had for me, because I feel like everyone's experiences can be different and I feel like you can't get enough of university Q&As ever. So I thought, why not be a better time to do it than now when it is results day? I know that when it was my results day I would have loved to have been able to watch something like this. I know they would have been around, but I just didn't think to ever watch them. On my results day personally, I didn't think I was going to uni. I didn't really want to straight away. I wanted to have a gap year, but somehow a year has passed and I've done a whole year at uni, so I may as well answer some questions on it because clearly I know some things. Okay, so the first question, I'm going to get straight into it, but the first question is one which I feel like is a good one to start on, and it is, how did you decide where to go? Now, for me, this wasn't too difficult. I just looked at where I did my course, basically. I do media and communication at Bournemouth, for anyone wondering. I have my BU hoodie on. Why not rep? So yeah, I knew that I wanted to do my course, but not specifically. And I knew that a lot of unis do my course, but they do it in like a variant of it. So I wanted to get it like completely right. I wanted it to be completely what I wanted. And the reason I chose Bournemouth in the end mainly was because I loved the open day. Like, the open day was so good, and I know that if you're watching this and you're going to uni and it's results day tomorrow, you've probably been to a ton of open days and all things like that, but Bournemouth open day was by far my favourite. Everyone was so friendly, everyone was so helpful. I had so many questions and they were just so good, like, on the open day. And yeah, I feel like that's probably how I made my decision, based on the open day. I love Bournemouth as a place. I love being by the beach and I love the campus. Like, Bournemouth campus is so nice. Fusion building, if anyone knows it, it's stunning. So yeah, that's kind of just how I chose, just looked at where I did my course. My second choice was actually to go to London, but because it was so expensive and I knew that I wasn't going to get a great deal of student loan, I just ruled it out basically. So it's kind of based on cost and also on like my course. So I've actually had a lot of questions on how to make friends at uni, and I'm not sure if this is like a massive jump with like how to decide and then how to make friends, but I'm going to answer them kind of randomly. I am also going to be filming a like whole big video on like uni advice that I have that isn't specific to the questions I'm going to answer, because I feel like that's probably going to be quite a helpful thing. If you guys want that, do let me know, because I really want to film that. But yeah, quite a lot of people ask me like, how easy was it to make friends? Did you get along with your flatmates? Blah blah. And this is something that I've touched upon a few times before, and at first I was really scared. I wouldn't say I find it difficult to make friends, but I find it difficult to kind of feel included, and I sometimes like work myself up in my head that like people don't want me to be around them, and that's just something that I had to deal with myself. So I knew that when I was making friends at uni that I needed to make sure I felt completely comfortable around them and I didn't feel like how I felt before, if that makes any sense. So I actually made a lot of my really close friends super early on. Like, I have been really good friends with the same people right from the word go, and mainly it was from the group chats. So when you first kind of decide you're going to uni and you first kind of confirm your place normally on results day or like a few days after that, you'll get added into group chats either for your course, for your halls, or just a big like general group chat, or like if you're interested in any societies. So I got added into my halls group chat first, I believe, and then I got added into my course group chat, and from there I actually added a couple of people from my halls group chat into my course group chat, and those people they're like my best friends now. So yeah, that's kind of how it happened. I feel like I got it quite easy. I was quite lucky in that sense that I did make all of my really good friends straight away. I also made really good friends with my friend Amy. You guys have seen her on my channel before. I became like really close friends with her literally on the first night that we moved in. And then my friend Beth, who again you guys have seen before, it wasn't until a few kind of weeks later, but I did know her from the start. So yeah, I feel like just make an effort to add people on Facebook, follow people back on Instagram. Even if you don't speak to them again, it's still a good start, and you never know. In terms of getting along with my flatmates, I got on really well with my flatmates. Again, I think I was quite lucky. We weren't super close as a flat, like we could have been closer. We didn't really do a lot together, but they were like the best support system I could have asked for, I think. Like, they all were really lovely and we all got on really well. We were all quite respectful of each other, and I do think that's really important, because although building close friends with your flatmates sounds really nice, I've heard of people that have done that and ended up falling out with them because they've just spent too much time with them. Like, because you live together, it's a really small flat, like you're gonna be around each other all the time. So I quite like that we weren't that close, but we were also close enough that we were always there for each other if we needed it. Okay, so the next one was kind of interesting, and this girl asked, "Hey, I just saw your story and I don't have a question as such, but more of an area that might be useful to talk about. So I graduated from uni a couple of weeks ago and I regret not getting involved so much. I didn't get involved with any societies or go to freshers or even just any student events, and I wish someone would have encouraged me to say yes to more. Sorry, it's not a question as such, but it might be helpful to talk about." Of course, I was terrified that I would not be the uni type. Going out and clubbing isn't really my thing. I do it and I do go, but I'm not someone that gets like super excited over it. I don't love it. I have my moments, but I don't love it. And so for me, the scariest part about uni wasn't moving away, wasn't starting fresh in a new place, it was freshers. Freshers was the one thing that literally terrified me. But actually, I realised very quickly that it wasn't that bad. And actually, if you're someone that doesn't like to go out, there are going to be people in the exact same boat as you. Often enough, we just spent evenings sat in like someone's like flat kitchen, just chatting. We got pizza, had a few drinks, played some games, basically did prees, but didn't go out, which I love. Like, that's my favourite part of any night out. So we did that quite a lot. I think a lot of people are very understanding in terms of like, oh, you don't want to go out, that's okay. I did have the odd comment of like, oh, you're so boring for not wanting to go out, but you get over it. You know what you want to do. Like, if you don't want to go out, you don't want to go out. That's not a problem. I will say try it though, because like I said, I'm not the biggest going out person, and I went out a few times in freshers and I did actually enjoy it. Like, looking back, I did have a really good time, so I don't really know what I was so scared of. Even if you go out just once and you have to leave early, just tell whoever you're going with, like, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this, like, if I want to leave, is that okay? And often enough they'll be fine with it. Just try it. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't feel 100% comfortable, you can leave. Often in first year, your halls are situated in a good location to like the going out area, so they do that on purpose because it's like freshers and things. So often enough you'll be in walking distance or a very, very short taxi or bus ride away, so you're not ever going to be completely stuck. I would just say try it. In terms of societies, I didn't really do anything this year. I went to like the freshers fair, so like societies fair or whatever you want to call it, and I looked around. I definitely would encourage that. Like, look around at what societies your uni has to offer. I signed up for a few. I signed up for a Disney society and I signed up for cheerleading. I didn't go to either of them once, but you might find something that you really love and you might not. Like, that just happens. And also, every year at uni, different societies get introduced and more like different societies get created, so you're likely to find something eventually that suits you. If not, make your own. Like, you could easily make your own society if you wanted to. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about not being involved in a society, because although I didn't, I still feel like I had a really good year and I made the most of it. I don't feel like I missed out particularly. The next question that I got was, what is the workload like? And this is going to be different for every single course, so I can't really answer this for everyone. My course personally was very up and down. Like, we went through a phase of hardly having anything and we were like, oh, what are we so worried about? Like, all this extra reading, where's that? Like, every course is going to be different. Some courses you're going to have to do so much extra reading, and some courses you just won't. Like, we didn't feel like the extra reading that we had was that necessary. We chose whether or not we wanted to do it, and I do feel like I did the right amount for what I felt like was necessary. Second year, I'm definitely going to try and do more in terms of like extra reading and extra like research, But I feel like in first year, that's not your main focus. Your main focus is settling into uni, learning how to write essays if you have to do them, making friends, having the best time. I feel like first year isn't really the time to be thinking about that because it works on a pass-fail basis. Obviously, you want to still try your best, but I feel like the workload in first year is not a true reflection. In the second half of first year, we had a time where we had a load of deadlines, and that got quite stressful, but I wouldn't say that it was... I was expecting it. Like, I was expecting the workload to be a lot more than it was. And I'm not complaining, by all means, but I feel like as long as you go into the mindset of that you're going to have quite a lot of work, if you don't, or if you do, you're going to end up being fine. So, yeah, either way, I can't speak for everyone, but on my personal account, it really wasn't that bad. Okay, so this is another really, really important question that I feel like I should address. What were the main things you were looking for when choosing which uni to go to? Now, I did touch on this already, but I feel like, for me, it was location. I wanted it to look nice. That sounds really, like, low, but I wanted it to look nice because I wanted to be able to enjoy where I go every day. So, yeah, where it was definitely a big thing for me. The course, not so much in terms of what was on the course, but more in terms of what it had to offer, what the lecturers were like. I did visit a couple of unis that the topics in the course sounded a lot more interesting than Bournemouth's, but the lecturers were not to my liking, and like I didn't feel like I'd be able to learn from them very well. The atmosphere is another one. Like, I love Bournemouth's atmosphere so much. Like, it really is just a nice place to be. And yeah, those are really the main things. Just like going somewhere where you feel comfortable, I think. Because although I could have gone to London and I could have lived my dream of living in London, if I didn't like the uni and didn't feel comfortable there, then I wouldn't have enjoyed it. Whereas in Bournemouth, it's like a small town. It's not too different from where I live now. The beach is incredible and I do feel very much at home there. So, yeah. Okay, the next question is, how did you afford everything, like shopping, etc.? Okay, so this is going to be different for everyone again. Obviously, you get maintenance loans. Your student loan pays for your like tuition and stuff, so you don't really ever see that. But your maintenance loan is based on what your parents earn, and for me, my maintenance loan didn't even cover my rent. I had to use all of my overdraft on my rent. I will just say now, and this is a disclaimer, my parents gave me money for food. Like, they gave me money a month for food and for living whilst I was at uni. I'm very, very, very grateful for that, and I understand that not everyone is going to be in that position. If you're not, and you know that you're not going to be, then maybe take a gap year and maybe just work for a year, and then you'll have money aside to be able to afford uni without asking for your parents' help. That's something that I do wish I'd done, but I didn't want to have a gap year. I wish I'd just saved better than what I did, because obviously, as I mentioned before, I didn't think I was going to be going to uni straight away, so I didn't really bother saving that quickly. I did have some savings, but not tons. But this year I've been working all summer. As you guys know, I've been very busy. I've literally just been working so much all summer, so hopefully I'm going to have enough money to support me for the most part, and then hopefully I'll be able to find a job in the meantime at Bournemouth as well. So yeah, budgeting is another thing. I didn't feel like I did, like, I wasn't super strict with budgeting, but we found the cheapest place to do a food shop. So we started off in Asda, moved on to Lidl. We're going to shop in Lidl again this year. Like, my food shop would be like £10 a week, so maybe maybe £15 every 2 weeks. So you don't spend as much as you think you do. So yeah, I just say make sure that you're not stressing about money. Your unis will obviously help you out as well. Like, if you're stressed about it, then they can offer you advice. Budget as much as you want to budget. If you want to be on a super strict budget, then do. But if not, don't stress too much, because there will always be ways that you can sort it. Okay, I really, really like this question. Favourite moments of first year. Okay, now, obviously this is going to be completely different for everyone, and this isn't me like giving advice to anybody on how you should have your first year, but I think this is really nice to talk about, especially if any of you guys watching this are like scared about going to uni. My favourite moments are honestly the most mundane things. So like having my friends just walk up to my flat and knock on my door randomly, or knocking on their doors randomly and going in for a cup of tea. Like, I loved that so much, and that's the one thing I'm going to miss the most about halls, is like just having everyone a lift right away, and you can just go and see everyone, and you can knock on the door, go in, have a chill. Like, we'd go in and we'd like go get in the lift in our pyjamas, holding a cup of tea. Like, it was so fun. Uni Christmas was the funniest time. Like, that was such a fun night. I don't know, like, I wouldn't even say that nights out for me are the biggest, like, best memories and best moments of first year, because they're not. We had one night where we had like a pizza night and we played like Cards Against Humanity, and I just love doing stuff like that. Like, those are my favourite moments of uni, just the like the little moments you don't think you're going to remember, and then they end up being your favourite. This question: how many bottles of alcohol did you go through in a month? Not that much. I'm not a massive drinker. I'm a very short person, so I don't need to drink a lot, and I don't drink much anyway. As I mentioned, we don't go out tons. Like, my group of friends don't go out loads. I went through more than I thought I would, but not loads. Not loads. Okay, and the final question, because I'm aware this video is probably going to be quite long, is how long did it take you to settle in? This is going to sound really bad, but not long. Really not long. I was so excited to go to uni. I was so excited to live on my own. I was so excited to be independent that I just think I got used to it very quickly. I didn't really get homesick. I think I had one day where I was a bit like, oh, what am I doing? Like, this isn't good. Like, I do feel quite homesick, but I didn't really. For me, I think one tip that I would give is fill your room up. Like, everyone joked and laughed that my room was cluttered and that I'd packed way too much stuff, but it made my room feel so much like home straight away that it didn't feel like a strange place to be. Like, it just felt like my room at home, because I had basically everything from my room at home in my room at uni. So I definitely say bring everything you're going to need to make you feel at home, whether that's stupid things like cuddly toys or cushions or posters or photos or like little decorations. Like, I had fake plants and like all sorts. Just do what you want to do to make it look like home, and that's kind of just how I settled in quite quickly. And it also helped that the minute I got to uni, I had a friend there, like, straight away. Like, from the word go, I had friends. So okay, so I'm going to end this video here because I feel like it's going to be really, really super long. I don't want to edit it loads. I want it to be quite, like, raw. If you have watched to the end and it is your results day tomorrow, good luck. Just remember that results don't mean everything, and if you don't want to go to uni, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Best of luck if you are receiving any results tomorrow. You've got this. You've got this. Thank you so much for watching if you did, and make sure to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you want to see more uni related videos. Give me suggestions in the comments. Any other questions, let me know. Tweet me, DM me on Instagram, leave them in the comments. I will be sure to answer them, and I'll see you again soon with another video.